How many of you thought that the metaverse was just a fancy term for another video game with a weird pair of goggles characterized by a cartoon image of yourself? That was me. When we were first introduced to the term the metaverse, it was characterized by an avatar of yourself walking through a virtual landscape with similarities to the real world, but in a virtual world. Why would anyone want to engage in a virtual world with a bunch of cartoons when you do the exact same things in real life? The idea of the metaverse has expanded so much in just a year, and it's finally beginning to take shape. What will it look like in 5, 10, or 20 years from now? Who knows? But the fact is, the metaverse is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry in just a few years, and we're still early. In this video, I'm going to break down what exactly the metaverse is, detail why I feel it's one of the best opportunities in crypto right now, showcase 2 of the most popular metaverse cryptos, and if you stick around to the end, give you 2 metaverse microcap gems you might want to put on your radar. If you like the type of content that helps you get in before everyone else, smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. I'm Scotty B Crypto, so let's get on with it. One of the biggest benefits of engaging in the metaverse is that it's a completely immersive environment that has 0 limitations. It's not restricted by geography, time of day, imagination, and for the most part, most people around the world have access. As of January of 2021, there were 4.6 billion active internet users worldwide, which is about 60% of the global population. Of this 60%, about 93% access the internet via their cell phone, so most people have access. Within the metaverse, people will feel the 3D virtual world that resembles much of the real world, where they can wander and perform several activities, engage with friends and family, attend a concert in Paris, obtain a degree in a virtual classroom, shop at a mall in London, attend a birthday party in New York City. There are literally 0 limitations. It's really difficult to truly define the metaverse because we're so early in development. Defining the metaverse today is kind of like defining the internet in the 90s. A new form of communication was being built, but no one really understood the technology and what the internet would exactly look like in the future. Flash forward 30 years, and the internet that we know today looks nothing like it did 30 years ago. The metaverse, or Web 3.0, who knows what it'll look like 30 years from now? Broadly speaking, the technology that makes up the metaverse can include virtual reality, which is characterized by persistent virtual worlds that continue to exist even when you're not even playing. When you sleep, the metaverse is still awake. Just like the real world, it never sleeps. And then we have augmented reality, which is AR, that combines aspects of the digital and physical worlds. VR and AR do not require any space to operate, and aspects of the virtual world can be accessed anywhere, at any time, from a cell phone, tablet, or your PC. The metaverse also translates to an entirely new digital economy. This is where users create, buy, and sell goods from within the virtual world using a native token that's created for a specific platform. In the most idealistic visions of the metaverse, it's interoperable, allowing you to take virtual items like clothes or cars from one platform to another. We're a long way from this, but it's coming. In the real world, you can go to the mall and buy a shirt, then wear that shirt when you dine at your favorite restaurant. Right now, most platforms have something called virtual identities, avatars, and inventories that are tied to that specific platforms. But in the future, I believe a metaverse will allow you to create a persona that you can take everywhere as easily as you can copy your profile picture from one social network to another. It's important to note that there will not just be one metaverse, but there's multiple metaverses. They all serve different functions, kind of like multiple countries that have their own native currency, creating their own native economy. Currently, many different companies have already entered or are planning to enter the metaverse. The most famous, and I'm sure you already know, is Facebook, who recently rebranded to Meta, who raised $300 million to build their own metaverse. We already have Epic Games, which is a company behind Fortnite, who's intending on spending $1 billion to look for opportunities within the metaverse. Then you have Apple and Microsoft, which are 2 of the largest tech companies who have already made strategic moves to enter the metaverse, with key hirings and millions of dollars already spent. And then we have Nvidia and Niantic, who are looking at hardware that's going to be needed to power the metaverse. And the list goes on and on. The point is, we're just getting started, and there's already been billions and billions of dollars that have poured into the space. This is expected to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry in just a few years, which means there's nothing but opportunity for crypto investors like you and I. The idea of the metaverse itself isn't exactly a new idea. One of the first iterations is Roblox, which is a gaming platform launched back in, I believe it was 2006. The platform still exists today and claims that it has more than 47 million daily users. Now, Decentraland and Sandbox are two of the more modern-day metaverses, and they're by far the most popular. Both share numerous similarities. They're decentralized, meaning there's no single governing authority or business behind the project itself. Both reside on top of Ethereum, and both have seen tremendous user growth in a very short amount of time. The code behind the platforms are not run on any centralized servers by a single entity. As of now, Decentraland is something called a Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or a DAO. But Sandbox has plans to become a DAO in the near future. Being a DAO allows the users or those holding the native token to provide input and vote on operational aspects or changes within the economy itself. Decentraland has about 90,000 parcels of land. These parcels of land are grouped into individual parcels or states, which is multiple parcels, and then districts, which are parcels within similar themes, and plazas, which are untradeable community-owned parcels. Mana is the main in-game token for Decentraland, which is used for buying, selling, or exchanging products and services. The Sandbox has just over 166,000 plots of land and can be grouped into estates, which are owned by one person, and districts, which are owned by two or more people. Sand is the main currency for the Sandbox. One of the main differences between the two is age. Decentraland is the older of the two and is really the OG of this space. It was the first to launch a working proof of concept and currently has a full playable game that is available to the public. The Sandbox just released their alpha, I believe, in November of last year, after being delayed for about a year and a half. Now, we still got the beta and the full game, which we probably won't see until later this year or early 2023, if we're lucky. There was a previous version of the Sandbox, which was released back in like 2012, 2013, but this was a mobile game only, and it's not the same conversation of the same version of Sandbox that we're talking about today. Now, I can't exactly go into the gameplay of either because I'm not a gamer, I'm an investor. If gameplay is what you're looking for, then there's plenty of other videos on YouTube that you might want to check out. Now, cryptocurrencies will play an important role in both Decentraland and the Sandbox. Whether you're looking to buy a shirt at the mall, play putt-putt golf, or watch a Snoop Dogg concert, you'll need tokens. You can purchase both Mana and Sand using many decentralized and centralized exchanges. Both are ERC20 tokens, meaning you can easily swap using Uniswap or SushiSwap using Ethereum. Decentraland can be found on centralized exchanges, including Gate.io, Coinbase, Digifinex, and Binance. And then you can find Sandbox on Gate.io, Digifinex, and Binance, but it's not on Coinbase. Now, I don't know about you, but I could give two shits, to be honest with you, about playing either one of these games. It's not my thing. I understand the opportunity behind virtual land, but crypto is my thing. So if I could care less about the in-game opportunities of Decentraland and the Sandbox or any other metaverse out there, why would I believe that this is the best investment in crypto right now? The answer is simple. It's adoption. As more and more users come into this space, the value of each token will only go up from here. Today, the Sandbox has more than 500,000 registered wallets, 12,000 unique virtual landowners, and has generated more than $144 million in lifetime sales in about a year and a half. Decentraland, which again is the OG of the space, has more than 300,000 people, 18,000 daily users, and just recently sold one plot of land for $2.5 million. And we've only begun. Now, odds are you missed out on the 100x plus gains with Decentraland and the Sandbox, just like me. I was not an early believer in the metaverse. In fact, it wasn't until just recently where I started doing my homework to research what exactly the metaverse really is. Like I said, I thought it was strictly an overhyped video game with a goofy pair of goggles, and because of that, I just was not interested. Then I did my research, and I was astounded of the many use cases of the metaverse that goes far beyond hanging out with friends, shopping, and playing a video game. We're talking universities opening up virtual classrooms, collaborative workspaces, virtual tourism, like traveling to the Bahamas without ever having to leave your house, watching a Maroon 5 concert from your own couch, and brand new marketing initiatives for businesses. In 2020, Facebook generated 98% of their revenue, which is about $86 billion, from ads. Do you now see why Facebook totally shifted their business model and is now concentrating 100% on the metaverse? As the metaverse continues to grow, more metaverses are created, more users engage, and more businesses dump millions or billions of dollars into the space. The virtual economies, which is the token that powers the metaverse, will only continue to blow up. In October of 2017, the market cap for Decentraland was $22 million. Today, $3.9 billion. This is more than a 177x in a little bit over 4 years. That means if you would have invested $1,000 just 4 years ago, that $1,000 would now be $177,000. Investors like you and I aren't the only ones who's missed out on Decentraland and the Sandbox. Many businesses did also. Not every business has the money like Nike, Samsung, Budweiser, Gucci, and McDonald's. In fact, most businesses can't exactly afford $2 million on a plot of land. These businesses are all going to be looking into the next Decentraland, just like you and I, because they can't afford to. The multi-billion-dollar businesses like Nike, Samsung, and Budweiser, they'll be looking to get into every single metaverse that takes off. Look at advertising on TV. Nike doesn't only run ads on NBC. You'll find their ads on NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, ESPN, and now Hulu, and everywhere else that people interact. The same is going to hold true about the metaverse. These companies are going to be looking into getting into every single platform that they feel has the potential to take off. And the mom and pop businesses, they're looking to get into any platform they can afford, especially the ones who missed out on Decentraland and the Sandbox, which is most. This is where $1 million opportunities lie within the metaverse cryptos. Again, I know I missed out on the other two, but I will not miss out on the next one. When we look at the metaverse, there are a ton of other cryptos to consider. The two that I'm looking at that closely resemble the immersive experience of Decentraland and the Sandbox has to offer are Somnium Space and Bloktopia. Somnium Space is a virtual reality world built on top of Ethereum. It's similar to both Decentraland and the Sandbox in a sense that allows people to purchase digital land, items, and services. This is an open source decentralized platform. Out of all the virtual blockchain worlds, Somnium looks and feels closest to the Ready Player One effect, which is a true immersive gameplay experience. It offers good graphics and a more realistic feel than many of the others. It's available in both 2D and virtual reality. And what I really like about this platform is that it's cross-platform compatible, meaning that you can use any major VR headset. This is a newer token. It's only been out for a couple of years, has a market cap of just under $70 million. Blocktopia is another metaverse project that I believe has great potential. This is a sandbox type role-playing game that allows you to explore an open world environment that leverages an advanced real-time 3D creation engine that creates realistic scenery. It all starts with Blocktopia Central Hub, which is a 21-level skyscraper in recognition of 21 million Bitcoin. Here, players can choose to interact with any of the 4 principles of Blocktopia, including learn, earn, play, and create. Blocktopia is much more than just an immersive gaming experience. It's also an immersive educational experience, which I really think is really going to help educate the average person on the world of crypto. One of the main principles of Blocktopia Metaverse is the learning principle. Here, within the 21-level skyscraper, users will find a ton of resources allowing them to learn all about crypto. They'll be able to engage directly with some of the most reputable names in crypto. On the ground floor of the skyscraper will sit numerous HQs, most of which are already occupied by some huge names. We're talking Chainlink, Binance NFT, Polygon, Avalanche, Chiliz, Algorand, Solana, Elrond, KuCoin, Animoca Brands, CoinMarketCap, Cointelegraph, as well as BitBoy and Jake Paul, which are 2 of the biggest YouTube influencers in the space. This is going to be massive. Now, when we look at CoinMarketCap and Blocktopia, we can see that the current price currently comes in at just over 1 penny, so about 1.5 pennies. I did want to point out something. I don't know if this is a typo or not, but only 4%, where the hell did it go? Only 4% of the total supply is currently in circulation. So you see that the total supply, at least according to CoinMarketCap, sits at 200 billion tokens, a max supply at 200 billion. But currently, only 8.34 billion are currently in circulation. Again, I don't know if this is a typo or not, but when you're doing your own research, if you're considering investing in this product or into this project, definitely find out if this is accurate, because 4% of the circulating supply is not good for the tokenomics of this project. So the current market cap is extremely low. It sits at $134 million. When we zoom out and look at the all-time on the charts, we can see that the project itself was first supported by CoinMarketCap back in October of 2021. Came in at well under a penny, which I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. But it had extreme volatility in which the token price immediately soared up to, about 16, 17 cents. And it's consolidated ever since, consistent with the rest of the market. November, it peaked back up to about 12 cents. And it's since come all the way down here to where it's at today, which is about 1.5 pennies. So what are your thoughts? Do you think the metaverse has huge potential from an investor's point of view, not just this year, but in the coming years? Why or why not? Are you already invested in the metaverse, or are you considering getting in early on some of these projects? If not, you might want to think about it. Getting in early into these coins is really how you make the most money in crypto. So most people, like I said, have already missed out on Decentraland and Sandbox. So the idea is to get on one of these other projects that we think that has the potential of becoming a Decentraland and Sandbox before everyone else. And that's where making the most money in crypto is. So finding these microcaps with a market cap, $70 million, $100 million, give you a ton of potential, obviously, as long as the project takes off. So investing in these microcaps, high risk, high reward, is where you make the most money in crypto. But you really got to do your due diligence and do your research on this. Like I said, look at the tokenomics, look at the project, look at the partnerships and everything that there is to know about these projects before you go dumping, hundreds of thousands of dollars into them. So I know what projects are investable from my standpoint, but my risk factor and your risk factor might be totally different. So you got to do what's best for you. Again, this is not financial advice. As with all my videos, I make this educational content based on my own research, hoping to give you a little bit of information so you can integrate my information in with yours so you can make the best sound investing decision possible. So this video went off for a little bit longer. If you found value in this content, I'd appreciate you if you give me a thumbs up, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I release daily content just like this, hoping to give you the most value. So again, I'm Scotty B Crypto, and I will see you on the next one.